Back in the wheat fields again, doing a little scouting this afternoon, kind of looking at the progress of things. Just kind of wanted to make mentions of some things that I want to try to correct. If you'll notice right here, you'll see where the sod drill driver missed a spot. I'll go over down here past my shoes. You see it didn't last long. Not that big a deal, I don't guess. But I need to try to fix that. Basically, the answer, hopefully the answer is here. Just bought a GPS for the whole farm. My intention there is to use it on the planter, the air planter, planting the corn and beans, the sod drill for the grain, for the small grain, the spreader truck, and also for the spray truck. Anyway, something else, another thing that I'm doing here, if you'll notice, see this area right here? Can you see where it's pale? And then you'll see right there, there's some yellow flowers growing. The custom sprayer company missed this spot with the nitrogen and the weed killer, and you can see the weeds in it. See the weeds? Nothing but pure weeds. I mean, it's just, you know, that's not that big a spot. No, I don't guess it's that big a deal, but I've gotten, you know, a dozen of those. Most of them are pretty small, maybe the size of a compact car. You know, here's another spot where Mr. Sod Drill Driver, which is me, okay, I'm fussing at myself, missed a spot. Now, this field was in corn, and this field lays pretty dead blame low. We get a lot of drowning problems. And it was kind of dry, and we started getting early last year when we planted corn. We got the corn in. Y'all can tell I'm trying to take my time walking through this wheat. I don't need to. I guess I'm like a old maid or old man or something, but I don't care anything about knocking it down. Some people just tramp on through it, but I don't, you know, the way I looked at it, the good Lord was good enough to give it to me. You'll see where he didn't get the nitrogen on it real good either, around the corner here, around the edge. You know, that happens. Got some drainage problems, but back to what I was saying. This field was a little bit dry, and then it got to raining. We got it finally dried out enough. We got it planted, and then corn got up 2-3 inches. It started raining, and we got a lot of drowned areas. This field we really felt like was going to be a loss last year. That wasn't the case, thank heavens. Didn't necessarily by any means make a bumper crop, but we had a pretty good crop, considering we probably lost at least a third of this field with the corn. Anyway, when we got ready to put the wheat in, we were looking at corn stalks, and we had some weed pressure just simply because of the drowned areas. You know, there was nothing there, and we couldn't replant it. The way it was done, we were going to destroy more corn than we did anything else. you know, than what we're going to gain. So you can see another streak right through there, real narrow, that the custom sprayer missed. I'm not going to do like a bunch of guys do and keep you in suspense and all that stuff. The sprayer is here. I purchased my sprayer yesterday at an auction, at an estate auction, from the estate of a gentleman who, to tell you the truth, until his latter years, I didn't realize what all he was doing, what all he was trying to accomplish, and how good he was. But anyway, walking along the edge of this field here, you know, looks pretty good. Another problem I've got, and one reason I'm walking in here, seem to have some 500-600 weight steers in the cow pasture next door. This is on the neighbor's property that's rented to a gentleman we know. Anyway, that's had some of these steers coming over, getting through a water crossing where the fence crosses a creek, where it was getting in here, and then you can see where can you see that, where they bit that off? See that end bit off right there. Anyway, but it's funny. We were blessed because they stayed on the edge. They wouldn't go out in the field, and I don't really understand that. As big as this field is here on this end, I would have thought, you know, they would be on across it, and the guy who owns the cattle didn't know that they were in there because they were right up against the fence, and of course where his driveway goes in, he really can't even see where I'm at here unless he goes in the cow pasture and looks through. So, you know, I didn't make a big deal out of it because I've been in his shoes. You know, when you've got cattle, that's the way it is. They're going to get out sooner or later. That's just the way it is. You can see here, you know, it's what, April the 9th. You can see through the bushes and all the bale of hay there. It isn't like he's not feeding them, and he doesn't have grass there for them. You know, that's not the case. But all in all, down here looks pretty good. I see right over in there, you'll see some of those little yellow flowers again. And I don't see where the custom sprayer missed that. That's pretty dark green. Wheat looks pretty good. If you look out through there, you'll see some brown stems, dead stems sticking up. That is the remnants of some foxtail. This field had a little bit of Johnson grass pressure in it, but very little. Most of that's what's the remnants of some foxtail, so I don't know. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this behind wheat. I really don't. But anyway, I said in a video earlier that maybe misleading. We have 187 acres of wheat this year, which is not all that much. But anyway, basically because we have a straw contract. Now I made mention in that the other video that we had 38 acres on my driveway. Well, that's literally what I meant. 38 acres along my driveway. It has nothing to do with the total. See another little place right in there. You probably can't see it. I mean, see those cars going by up there on the highway. Drop back this way just a little bit. It's a little narrow strip. Spraying fees. Last year I paid over 30 grand. I don't remember exactly what. I was thinking 33,000, and some of my family members reminded me that I had said something about 37,000 when I originally totaled it up. So I don't know whether they've got it mixed up or me, but anyway, it's over 30 grand. You can see a cow pile here. It isn't hard to figure out that the cattle went in here. But anyway, they're not anymore. Looking good, but I'm trying to get make some improvements with the GPS and with our own spray rig. I've got sense enough to know that with our own spray rig, there's going to be some growing pains and we're going to have some problems. I am not. There's another cow pile. And shame that wasn't out in there. Maybe that'll feed some of this wheat. But you know, you can do a better job on your spraying when you're doing it because you care, it's your living. But on the other hand, it's awful hard to afford the equipment for what we do that they have, because they're going to go over whatever. The guy that did this doesn't do a lot for us. He's kind of a secondary guy. Our primary folks couldn't seem to get here and was having equipment issues and employee issues. So anyway, they didn't make it. But he said that the secondary guy that did this, he said that he went over a little over 6,500 acres last year, and that's with a spray rig on a 1-ton 4-wheel drive. It isn't like he's got a spray coupe, or I call them coupes. I don't know what you're supposed to call them. Rogators or Terragators or whatever. I guess that's AGCO brand, but you guys get the idea. Just kind of enjoying a Sunday afternoon here, doing a little scouting and kind of telling you what's going on. When we get the spray rig up and running, we'll give you hopefully some action shots of that. I'm anxious to get it done, and I'm very nervous about getting it done. It's not what I wanted. I'm not convinced it's what I could afford right now. I did not budget for a sprayer. A couple, 3 sprayers I was looking at fell through. Sold them, or something about them I didn't like. And anyway, the sprayer that I probably should have purchased sold yesterday for $80,000. It's about 2 years old. He paid $223,000 for it. It was a deal. In very good shape. And I didn't have my stuff together. I had not budgeted for it, and as usual, nothing uncommon. My banker was not in on Friday and is not going to be there next week. Anyway, that's another video. I don't know about you guys, but I buy most of my stuff. Buy most of it and pay cash for it, just simply because, I don't know, the bankers don't, all they want to do is deal with somebody that's working a 9-to-5 job. Even if it's a $15 hour job at McDonald's, they'll give them a loan before they'll give me a loan. Which is horse crap. I know how hard I work, and I know what I make through the year, and I can show him that year after year. And but they don't care. Like he says, the rules have changed. Well, I haven't changed. Anyhow, I'm going to attempt to alleviate some of these sprayer issues with their own rig, and then also with the GPS. I'm going to try to get some of these planting errors fixed up. This field was really hard to sow. I have my own sod drill, and you just couldn't hardly see where you were going. It was a job. But really good stand. This was planted really late. It was about Thanksgiving. We almost didn't plant this field. And there's really no excuse for it, because it should have been the first field off. You can see my dually sitting over there. Should have been the first field off, you know, in terms of getting planted. We should have been done with this first, because this was first field that we harvested. See that? You can see that yellow streak. See that yellow streak? It comes on down, and you see the little yellow flowers there. Same one we were walking through a little bit ago. And of course the field comes on down. I only had this field in wheat one time before. Had several drowned spots. There was absolutely nothing when we thrashed wheat. Nothing there. I mean, it wasn't even 2-3 inch weeds hardly. You know, he just drowned out everything in those low-lying spots, and still averaged almost 60 bushels an acre, which here in Central Virginia and hill country, that's not bad. I mean, if you figure out what you lost on the drowned spots, that's killer. We were probably 100 bushel wheat most of the time, you know. Anyway, just giving you an update. Hopefully get one out on just showing you what kind of sprayer I bought. It's not elaborate at all. It's a truck mounted deal. But I'm hoping it will get us where we need to be for a while. I want to buy either a Rogator or a John Deere sprayer. You know, self-propelled job. That's what I really want. I've got issues with that because how far we have to travel. Anyway, just kind of taking it easy on a Sunday afternoon, taking care of some stuff, getting ready to go down and check on some cattle. I've got some work to do, some repair work to do on a head chute, and I think they call it the palpation cage. I don't use that all that much, but anyway, that's got some timbers on it I'm going to replace. I don't like. Just got to do some measuring. Not really doing any work on Sunday. Not too much on that. Talk to you next time.